Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning. Yes, it is. You know why? Because I choose it to be so. Remember, everything just is. Every moment in time just is. What somebody says, what somebody does, what you do just is. See, it's the meanings we give those things that matters the most. And the best part is we get to make it mean whatever we want to make it mean. Now, why is that so important? Well, because that feeling, whatever that is the attractive force in your life. Really grab on to what I'm saying here. It's exactly as what Neville Goddard shares. Feeling is the secret. How you feel determines what you're attracted to, what's attracted to you, and also what you're repelled by and what's repelled by you. See, it all stems from that vibratory state. And the best part is you're the one that gets to determine whether or not you're going to remain in a state or whether or not you're going to shift it. How? By thinking. See, it all starts in the mind, just as what Bob Proctor shared. It all starts in the mind. And what's in the mind? Thought. The kingdom of heaven is the kingdom of thought. You have those beautiful gifts within you, your higher mental faculties, your imagination, perception, reason, will, memory, and intuition, all of which are the tools you need that, if used, can deliver the life that you seek. See, this is where choice comes into play. Your greatest power, which is your agency, where you get to accept, reject ideas, originate ideas. See, it's with that choice and dissatisfaction, which is the spark to change, that you can engage with these higher mental faculties to deliver whatever you would love for your life. Now, think about that. We're talking about your income, we're talking about your lifestyle, we're talking about where you live, we're talking about basically how things are happening here in this physical world, all of which is something that comes from the inner world. See, that's what we dive into here in these study calls, of which we've been jumping into this beautiful masterpiece, The Master Key System by Charles Haanel. And by the way, if you don't have a copy of this, by all means, do get a copy of this, because this book is amazing. And get this exact copy if you'd like to read along with us, word for word, page for page. Now, with that, when you do have it, make sure you mark it up. Yes, mark it up, take notes, but more importantly, use what comes to you. See, all this knowledge here, all knowledge in any form, even what I share with you verbally, that's not power. That's just information. And information is static energy. See, the only way that what I'm sharing with you is going to have power in your life, the only way that what Charles Haanel is sharing with you is going to have power in your life, is if you apply it. See, it's got to be part of your thought process. And that's what I mean by application, by the way. I'm not talking about the physical things you do. All the physical things you do, they just automatically happen based from how you're thinking. See, the only free will you have is not free will to act, it's free will to choose your thoughts. And there again is that beautiful message for you. All right, so with that, make sure you have this gold card with you. And also remember that, yes, you're going to write down what you would love for your life, but understand this. Remember, you don't manifest what you write down. You don't manifest what's on a vision board. You don't manifest even affirmations. What you manifest is how you feel about whatever that is. And you'll know whether or not you're connected with it simply by just looking at your results, because your results tell the truth about that. All right, so let's dive into this, shall we? Let's go into where we left off from the last call. All right, we're on page 305, and this is, again, a really big deal, and it's also very simple. Now, remember, we're talking about changing your results. We're talking about delivering change the way that you would love that change to be. The universal mind manifests itself in the objective through the principle of attraction that each atom has for every other atom in infinite degrees of intensity. Now, I know that sounds like a whole bunch of really great words put together. It sounds really cool, but what does it mean? Well, it simply means that like attracts like. It simply means that what happens in your subjective world is what shows up in the objective world. If you think of it, it's like they're like polar opposites when you're thinking about from one place to the other, but not opposites in terms of attraction. I'm talking, it goes from one side to the other. It's kind of like when you think about what Bob Proctor shared with us so beautifully about how we live on three planes of understanding simultaneously. You have the spiritual, the intellectual, and the physical. Now, I want you to notice the opposite sides of this, but in between is the intellectual. If you look at the spiritual, it's the thoughts, the intellectual are the ideas, and then you have the physical, which are the results, the outcomes. Now, when you think about that, you'll see that that's how things flow for creation. That's what's embedded within you when we're talking about your spiritual DNA. See, that is how this world operates, from the thoughts to the ideas to the things. A thought leads to an idea. An idea is nothing more than a thought or a group of thoughts that are aimed towards a specific purpose, which is the result. See, the subjective is the thought, and the objective is the result. Subjective goes to objective. Your subjective mind is what's inside that delivers the outcomes of your life. And anyways, the whole point is that whatever is in your heart, which is that subjective mind of yours, whatever is in your heart, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a woman thinketh in her heart, so is she. The so is he, so is she is the external outcome. Now, with that being said, it's always going to be there in proportion to what's happening inside, which is why I'm constantly saying to you, when it comes to your goal, you can't look at this as an idea, as something that you wish would happen or hope would happen. No, it's got to be something that you're magnificently obsessed with, that you're one with, because that is what is going to show up. And I mean, just think about this from this point of view. Say, for instance, you're looking at this and you want it, and you keep saying, I want it, I want it. See, that's a vibratory state of you being in want. That's what's moving around inside of you. And that's what's going to be attracted to you. What? You being in more want. So you're going to want it next week, next month, 6 months from now, a year from now. Why? Because that's what's moving around inside of you. Remember, like attracts like. Now, let's go further, because with what we talked about also as well from this, when it comes to the universal mind, manifests itself in the objective solely based from what? And again, it's from that vibratory state. And we just talked about this in the very beginning of this. Who's the one that gets to determine which vibratory state is going to move forward with you? It's you. Point to yourself, go like this. Hey, it's me. It's always me. It's always going to be you. Now let's go further. It is by this principle of combining and attracting that things are brought together. This principle is of universal application and is the sole means whereby the purpose of existence is carried into effect. Now, I want you to notice how he's emphasizing principle. Principle, remember, they are immutable. They are something that's there that gets enforced regardless of whether or not you're aware of it. With being said, if you live your life according to principle, which a lot of people don't, and then they don't get the results that they want, and then they feel frustrated and confused. But if you do, you'll deliver beautiful outcomes. Now, when you look at this as well, when you think in terms of attraction, because remember, it says combining and attraction, that things are brought together, you'll see that attraction is the mechanism behind the form. Everything that comes into your life, people, situations, resources, comes by this law of attraction. And this, again, this is how life organizes and manifests itself. But with that being said, it's important to recognize and understand that this attraction, even though that's what it's doing, is dependent on vibration, which is feeling. It's feeling. So again, let's look at your goal here. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Is this something that you love, or is it something that you would love to love? See, there's a big difference between the two. The whole point being is that when you lock into it and you tie into this principle, which is the sole means whereby the purpose of existence is carried into effect, that's when you'll deliver some amazing outcomes. Now, before we go any further, those of you who are watching this live stream, and if you'd love to continue with diving into the depth of who you are and how your marvelous, miraculous, incredible, powerful mind works, then go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind.